Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Man Utd Agenda. It's 9 p.m. on Thursday, and we're doing a match preview for the game on Sunday. We're going to Villa Park. Ooh, scary. They've won 15 in a row there, didn't they? So we're going to Villa Park, and we're going to try and continue our unbeaten run. And I just want to say big up to you, your run, Bath Time. It was 3 games in a row or 3 days in a row you've been on with us?
Yeah.
Going well. How are you feeling today? How's your day going?
Yeah, it's really good. I feel very tired. I've had too much hot chocolate. I really enjoyed the show last night as well, with Stefan and Pat. That was fantastic. And I've been electrified by Dora's car insurance story off stage.
Do you want to tell us about that, Dora, your car insurance story? Also, everyone wants to hear about this.
I mean, it's nothing like it's like a normal, occurrence when you need to renew your car insurance. I went there really early to, get it out of my way. But of course, I think it took 2.5 hours. I renewed my insurance. Then I went to the other town to actually for people to, see my car if it's okay for the renewal. And you know what, it is what it is. But of course, best time thinks that I'm like like a Formula One driver or whatever in my 15-year-old, old car. So
it's more than a Mexican standoff, Dora, at the traffic lights with that guy.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had some blinders in during traffic in the last 2-3 weeks. Like I like some people are just I want to, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
Guys, how you doing in the comments? Yes, Dora was frowning at a fellow driver today. That's Dora's idea of road rage. Frowning at him. And I can't get out of my head what you said about Mario Kart doing donuts. Brilliant. All right, let's go through a few comments and say hello and greetings. Starting with Jeff, who was first in the house. How you doing, Jeff? Hope you're doing well. Big 3 points up for grabs. Let's move closer to Spurs and Villa for 4th place. DK Wilson, also from the States. How you doing? He's just saying hello to Jeff, not to us yet, but we're saying hi to you. My notification didn't work. Set that up, guys. We got Stephanie Griffiths in the house. How you doing, Stephanie? I will say it for you. Press the like button. We got 11 people watching at the moment. I'm doing your work for you, Steph. You owe me. Mr. B's in the house saying hello, guys, and Doles as well. Jeff is saying it's 70 degrees back in Texas, the state of Texas today. Thanks, Stephanie, for the big up and the thumbs up as well. Big up to Emma Kay, our Danish friend, giving us the wave and a high five. Hope you're doing well. Yes, yesterday's show was hilarious. That's from Jeff. Belly laughs from him. DK. Oh, here we go. DK is giving us props. Big up to DK Wilson. When you can do it online, Mr. B is responding. He's organising on the show. And Andrew Williams is saying, tonight we have Messi. That's you, Dora. Hullet, that's me, Amandi, and Steve Claridge.
Yes.
I mean, we are about the same height, me and Messi, so good comparison.
See our show about heights the other day.
Sorry?
We had a show about heights in football.
Oh, really? I need
what
to
do you
check
think
it
the
out.
average height is of footballers in roughly?
I mean, I wouldn't. I would be like Messi. I would be a little wonder kid, like a little gnome, trying to, trying to outrun my opponents. But yeah, also Jeff is. Sorry. I need to address this comment.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same degrees. It's the same temperature in Texas as is in Croatia today. It's insane. It's February. I want my winter back. Sorry, I had to rant because I was surprised because it's the same temperature here and in Texas. Insane, absolutely insane.
But is this degrees or Fahrenheit?
Celsius degrees. Celsius,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, 20. Dora, how tall are you? If you don't mind me asking.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm going centimeters. Apparently, I'm 163 centimeters. I always add a half, 163.5 centimeters, which is like a 5'2", 5'3", or is it 5'3" in inches or whatever? I don't know. So yeah, I'm a gnome.
And Dora, can you renew your insurance online? Mr. B is asking.
No, I went there by myself.
Okay. And Andrew's telling me that it's not Celsius, 70 degrees Celsius.
Oh, I know. I googled it immediately.
Big up to Bart as well. How you doing? And Andrew saying 163 centimeters. My voodoo doll of yours is 175. Oh, brilliant, David. How you doing, David? Big up, man. Messi is 5'7".
I know. I'm
all right, guys. Getting on to it. We're on a roll, aren't we? At the moment, we've won the last 2 games. We're doing pretty well at Man United, so spirits up. Did anyone see the press conference today?
Nope.
Do you want to hear about what went down in the press conference today?
Absolutely. I can't wait to hear what Ten Hag's gone down on.
Okay. Well, I've got some slides. Here we go. So, availability. Let's start with Martinez. He was asked about Martinez. Obviously, we know he's out. And he said, yes, it's a setback, of course. You can see his contribution to the team when he's playing. Apart from his technical skills, also his mentality in the team. We think he can be back by the end of the season. We have very good players that can in that position that can replace him. And also Mount and Wan-Bissaka are unlikely to be ready. I didn't want to touch on Malacia because we know that he's not really available. But just reading here what the manager said about Martinez's impact. Do you agree with that about his mentality and that we can sort of cover his position as well? Because look at him, he's in agony there. And I think all of us were sort of cringing when we saw him go down like that. How much of a miss is he, guys?
Do you want me to go first? I think it's a huge setback. I mean, we talked about it a bit after that game last week or so. I mean, he obviously has a huge passion, and he brings a different energy to that back line. I mean, as I said in the match reaction after the last game, I mean, he made Rafael Varane a human to me because he's always kind of calm, and whenever the butcher is right next to him, the guy comes alive, and they are high-fiving each other after every good tackle and good defensive possession, and throwing themselves for the ball. Like they're always, you can feel that togetherness in that back line. And you know what, when he came in last season, or 2 summers ago, like you could clearly see the shift in that back line, and it kind of we kind of saw it because the guy got a clean sheet, and we had a really good defense. Not always, but for most of the season, that defense with Varane and Martinez was always great. He will be a miss, but hopefully the likes of Lindelof, Maguire, and Johnny Evans or whoever is in that back line with, I would say, Varane. I hope that they do a good job, covering for him. But yeah, he will definitely be a miss. He's not just, I'm not saying he's a passion merchant, but he's, he obviously knows how Ten Hag wants to play. He's very direct with his passing. Every time he tries to, break the lines with his passes in the middle, throw those passes to Bruno or maybe Rashford, who is in the middle or something else. So yeah, he's clearly a very important part of our squad, and I would say our best centre back in the club. So of course it's a big deal.
Wow.
I would say he is now.
I think we deserve a poll for that to find out who's our best centre back in the club, because I think there would be an argument from other fans about who's who. But just before I come to you, Bath Time, about this, touch on what the comments are saying, because a lot of talk about this. 100% agree. It hurts our mentality, says Andrew Williams. Damien is saying no one can replace Martinez, is a massive loss. Martinez makes us a better team, says Andrew. He seems to be our heartbeat, but we need to find someone like him that can stay healthy. That's from Jeff. Best centre-back, Martinez, and best on the ball. That's the technical side of things. Martinez is a leader, says Bart, and the kind of profile that United should be looked for in the market. Mentality monster, technically sound, an excellent read of the game. No doubt about it. Big up to Hydro. How you doing? Stephanie's saying Varane and Maguire for Sunday, methinks. You're trying to do the solo 11. I think you tried that last week, didn't you? Let's wait for the solo 11, Stephanie. But yeah, you're close. Playing Shaw as centre back isn't a good idea as it handicaps the side in two positions, disrupts the balance of the side as the link up with the left winger and possibly Mount is hampered by this as well. DK Wilson saying here, Martinez needs to come off the field as soon as possible instead of trying to play on. I'm surprised no media people came running since he was off the pitch. Martinez is Jeff, and I agree with Dora, says Damien Walsh. Martinez is the best player at the club, but I'm an idiot, says Andrew. No, you're not. And Evans and Maguire more likely as well. Lastly, Maguire is slow off the blocks, lacks recovery pace. Bailey will cook him. All right, over to you, Mr. Bath Time. I mean, you've got Mount as well, and Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka seemed to be coming back, but then the manager said, no, something's happened. He's not around. So overall, with the availability, you happy with that?
I mean, I'm not sure that Mount and Wan-Bissaka would be getting in the team, even if they were fit at the moment. Mount's, we've got to find a place for Mount. Like, we can't, like 50 million or whatever on big wages. Number seven shirt. It's not looking good. But Martinez will obviously be a huge loss because even though I think that as a defender, parts of his game are overrated and he does have some weaknesses, he's sort of like, he just makes everyone better around him. I don't know if that's a positive, aggressive attitude or his ability to react to situations quicker and with more intensity. But you can see that he has the trust of the back line and also his technical skills. Whilst we haven't really sort of made use of them too much this year, getting the ball out from the back, he has saved Onana several times by turning like a number 10 from pretty poor balls. And the way that Villa play with really compressing the pitch, playing that high line and getting loads of people in our half, it would have been really nice to have one of our best technicians in the team. So it's not good days, and I really hope after 3 serious injuries that we can get him back to the standard that he was around Christmas last year.
Brilliant. Just going on to the next slide here. So also, we're going to find out a solution. What is the solution with this issue of Martinez going out? Because we all agree he's a first teamer. But who comes in his place? And good question. I must say the journalist today at the press conference asked the right questions. Question 1. This is about left-footed centre-backs. Eric, this is a journalist, a female, said, you've spoken about consistency and balance. Martinez was a player that offered both. Without him, you do have options to change it. Will we see Shaw shifted centrally? And Eric Ten Hag said, we have options in that position. We have good centre-backs in our squad. And then she went on to say, are you still keen to use somebody who is comfortable using his left foot there for the build-up play, strictly for the build-up play? Ten Hag said, yes, that is an advantage. We have seen players can develop in those positions and improve better ball play from the back. So is he trying to say that I'm looking at the photo there. There's Luke Shaw last season that played at centre-back and clearing up the mess and doing his job. Do you think it's down to Ten Hag that he's improved him as a centre-back and playing in that position? Because no one would have really previously put him there. And do you think it's important? How important is this left-sided centre-back with the build-up of play? Bath time.
I'm not 100% sure Shaw is playing left centre-back there because I can see little Martinez in the picture. Also, we've done a vote and everyone has voted for Martinez as our best centre-back. Like every vote.
Where's the vote?
It's on the channel. Yeah, I put a poll up for you.
Okay, all right. What's the figures then? Who else was getting scores?
No one. I put Maguire, Varane, Evans, and Martinez as the options. Everyone has voted for Martinez.
Wow.
Like no one's voted for anyone else. So, and that's pretty much what I would expect, to be honest. I think he is quite clearly our best centre back. But right, so the question is why we like left-footed centre backs.
Because they were asking about left-footed centre backs. How important is that to the build-up of play? And do you think Ten Hag has developed players like Shaw, for example, to play in that position really well, because he's saying here, yes, it's an advantage that we've seen playing left-foot centre-backs. Players can develop in those positions and improve better ball play from the back.
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, I think Luke Shaw as a left-sided centre-back is a little bit overrated. I remember this might be a bit unfair, but I remember Harry Kane really taking him to the cleaners when we played against Tottenham. He's perfectly fine as a centre back, but he's not a top centre back. He's a top left back, and it's about the ability to play balls inside and outside, and it means, and because you have a left-sided centre back, you're opening up the angles on the pitch, so it allows you to have a wider setup when you're on the ball. And we all know that width is good for attack, being narrow is good for defence. So the wider you are, unless you go a bit too much, like I don't know, Moses or something, you've got better attacking options. And this year, one of the big things that United have improved on is we have scored a surprising amount of goals from playing out of the back, and it's really, really good to see. But I'd be very surprised. I can just see Andrew's comment here as well. I'd be very surprised to see Shaw left back, centre back. I would personally think that it would be Johnny Evans.
Why is that? Because Johnny Evans can play with his left foot. How important is this left-footed centre back in Ten Hag's system in building up from the back? Do you agree with Bartime there?
I mean, of course, Batham is a tactical expert on this, but when you see us play with left footed centre backs, it's clear that these attacks from your possessions from the back look more fluid. The ball goes much, it's more faster. It's it looks more fluid. It's better. I mean, it's obviously that the manager really tries these strategies in the training ground. He obviously wants to play like that. He signed Martinez. I mean, I agree with Bedtime that Johnny Evans is probably our only centre back that actually can play, with that left foot, even though he's a right-footed centre back. I mean, I saw him multiple times this season when we were quite poor, where he would, bail us out or, use his left foot, for long passes or just, trying to build up something from the back. I agree with that notion immediately. I don't think Varane is capable of doing that. Lindelof, even though he is good on the ball in most cases, most of the time, I don't think he can do it consistently, and he's not as good as Johnny Evans. So I think I need to agree with that notion that he's our best left-footed, right-footed center back besides Licho Martinez. But it's obvious that that left-footed center back has been Ten Hag's most important thing in that back line, with a ball playing goalkeeper, and I mean, Bedtime discussed it and you guys discussed it multiple times on this channel. He obviously favors it, and he will try to do his best to find someone who can come in for Licha Martinez and help us consistently bring that gameplay.
Maybe it's Anthony.
Oh my God! Imagine that.
He's got the aggression, that's for sure. Half-time, go back to you. I mean, we've seen Tyrone Mings as a left-footed centre-back, and he's been out. He's got serious ACL injury, hasn't he? Unfortunately, and so he'd be out for the rest of the season. But do you think that Villa miss him as well? Because I don't think they've got another. They have actually. They've got Pau Torres. So the manager Emre seems to want, even though they had Tyrone Mings, he bought Pau Torres, didn't they, as a left-footed centre-back? So it seems to be really important these days.
Yeah, they're like gold dust at the moment, left-footed centre-backs. I mean, like, you look at a player like Ake, that I think a lot of people would have sneered at when he was he at Brighton or Bournemouth?
Bournemouth. He was in Bournemouth. Yeah.
Like, I always liked Nathan Ake. I don't know why, but I'm not saying he's anywhere near this level, but just the way he moves, he always reminds me of Paolo Maldini. I know it's such a stupid comment, but the body shape and the way he takes, the way he attacks people. But it's mainly because, like, when you're a possession-based team, you really need to be able to play out on both sides. And if, for example, you have someone like Varane, whose strongest attributes are not carrying the ball or passing, and you put him next to Maguire, you find yourself compacted on one side of the pitch, and that makes it much easier to defend, and more importantly, it makes it easier to press against. So part of a team being press resistant is having a good balance from the centre backs, where they can split and they're able to go outside, inside, on both sides. So it's really, really important, and I think it's pretty telling that United's first signing will almost certainly be a centre back that can use the left foot, because we got one.
Yeah. So Stephanie Griffiths saying here, Shaw doesn't have Martinez's physicality, but Casemiro and Mainu will shield the centre backs. Bart saying here, if you were Martinez, would you risk yourself to come back early so that you can help United finish as high as possible, but risk aggravating an injury? Ed, how you doing, Ed Barrett? You said bath time. Do you have any thoughts on Varane with Kambala pairing? Quickly before I go before more comments.
Not at all. No, I haven't considered it.
That's a no. Dora, that's a no from you as well?
No, I don't. Too small. How do you say it? We didn't see that much of that. Yeah.
Okay. Andrew Williams saying here, Shaw, Evans look at the options he is considering, and Maguire, Varane, the other side. One of the two. He's saying there. Problem is, who plays left back? Is Shaw is centre back. It will be Evans, Maguire. I think that's from Andrew Williams. He's also saying here, Shaw, Dello, Maguire, Evans is my prediction. So no Varane. Damien saying bath time, clock 100% correct, thumbs up. Shaw is the best on the left. Evans, perfect choice. What's the clock for?
Time.
Oh God, yeah. Okay, I get it. Lucky Singh saying, Luke Shaw, I need a change of position for this game. Jeff is saying here, if we are planning on playing Shaw at centre back, he is thinking he will play Lindelof at left back. We will lose by 3 goals. So the votes are in, yeah, for sure. Pau Torres is a left-footed centre back. Yeah, big up Andrew. Hi, bath time and panel, says Raja as well. Ake is decent for sure. Thanks. It's from Vincent. He does amazing clips for men. Anybody will take who's that? Another left centre back. I don't know who that is. Akanji is another is underrated for them and very adaptable too. Paul Torres has been out injured. We were looking at him because he was at Villarreal, wasn't he? But he's known to their manager Emery. He was the former manager there. So that's about left-footed centre backs. Moving on now, we're going to talk about something exciting. Now look at that picture, the joy it brings. And I just heard, did you hear about Di Maria? He was cussing Garnacho. And so Garnacho, the reason he's done the celebrations, he's saying he shouldn't be doing celebrations for Ronaldo. So that's why when he scored, he ran to the hoarding and did that. What a picture. I mean, this is fantastic. Ten Hag was talking about the 3 young players. Said, I think they enjoy playing together. It's an adventure. They want it to do it together. They want also to pass the ball to each other and that everyone can play to the qualities and score goals. It is brilliant. They want to do it together, and that is the key. Young players, the future for Manchester United is quite bright with the talent on board. You have to develop it. This club wants to achieve a lot. This club wants to win trophies. So very ambitious, so they can step up and bring high levels. Also against the best opposition. They have to express the same threat, and it's about the end product. So this is young players and scoring goals. We've got a guy like Hojlund who had a drought, and suddenly he's just can't stop scoring. Garnacho, he's just been a revelation since he's come into the side, and he scored a goal again at the weekend. And then we got the midfield maestro, Mainu, as well. I mean, are you excited with what the manager's saying there? Does he seem as excited as we are with the future? This is the future, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we should be definitely. And I know this is a small sample size, and with us getting into form finally with scoring goals the last few games, but I think with the way these youngsters play and with and the glimpses that they show this season, I think that if everything is perfect and everything goes smoothly and they actually try their hardest, always work and stay out of trouble, I think they will be they already have immense potential, but they will be a proper future of the club. I think Ten Hag is excited as well. I mean, he came from the background, of Ajax being a club that produced so many great talented players in the last 50 years, I would say. So I mean, he comes from that culture. He understands youngsters. He understands how these young players can be the fundamentals and the cornerstones of every football club. I hope they become that eventually, and hopefully that that hype that the social media and the internet online fans or whoever, even me for example, I hope that kind of expectation and pressure of being a young Manchester United player doesn't break them, because we saw how that can break people in the last few years, especially, I mean, even besides the obvious, Mason Greenwood stuff. I mean, Ravel Morrison, you had, Federico Makeda had an amazing, moment in his life, and, Adnan Januzaj, so many, supposed, youngsters or futures of the club kind of, fell off. And I hope these guys are going to work to their best, and
big up. So the manager's saying here, Bath Time, that young players, the future for Man United is quite bright, and with the talent on board, but you have to develop it. Do you see these players developing? Have you seen any growth of them?
Yes, certainly with Garnacho. Like at the weekend, he was getting suicide balls from Casemiro non-stop, and he was able to look after the ball, get it better, play the way that he was facing. I think when we first saw Garnacho in a friendly, I wasn't impressed with his defensive work at all, and I thought he was nowhere near ready. He's still not a particularly good defender, but he's now at a level where he's not a detriment to the team. And when you look at those three players, it's impossible not to get excited about them. For me, there's only two things that really stand in the way of their development. One is themselves. Like, they've got to keep the levels. They've got to keep working and stuff. You need to look at the class of '92 and stuff like that, and understand that, when Jaap Stam was at the club, there's a famous story about the Nevilles practicing their throw-ins when he was like leaving to go home. You've got to have that level of dedication. And the other thing is, I think most people on this channel know that I'm extremely disappointed with where Kobbie Mainoo is being played on the pitch. Mm-hmm. He's not a number 8, and we've got to get him on the ball more. So I hope that there's a plan for him. But I think that I'm not sure Ten Hag is the guy to get these guys there, though, based off how he's treating Kobbie Mainoo by playing him in a role that is ill-suited for him. But you just can't not be excited by these guys. And I hope that is a picture that we see time and time again over the years to remind us that this was the start.
I don't want to start with you, Bath Time, or bump heads, but I kind of disagree. We argued about this the other day, didn't we, about Ten Hag, if he's the man to do it. But yeah, I'll save that. I'll put that on pause. I'll seal my lips. Like Dora did in traffic, frowning at the guy today. Rajat saying here, Man United is built on good young players. So most certainly, it's lovely to see. A great goal celebration. Let's hope all on the score sheet after this week. That's from Stephanie Griffiths. Andrew saying here, Garnacho and Mainoo have been our sunshine in dark times. So sunshine on a rainy day. Makes my soul drip away. Jeff saying here, I snapped up this picture online and I'm having it turned into a 24-inch long by 12-inch high framed photo to put in my office. Brilliant. I saw someone on Twitter as well do an artwork about that today, the same future. That was really good. I love that.
Have you seen Rashford's picture? I have seen that, like the black and white painting with a little bit of gold. Amazing.
Rashford's, then what was?
Rashford's is really funny. like he put up a picture of a jigsaw that he was doing, and I find it very funny that a week ago he was doing completely different things, and this week the PR team have got him putting a jigsaw out on a Thursday night. It's really tickled me.
That's a good move, though. Good move.
Yeah.
Keep them away from the internet, says Lucky Singh. Do you think the internet and social media is a bad thing for young players, guys?
It's an inevitable thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, how different do you think you'd be if you'd grown up with TikTok, Facebook, all these things?
Is it a distraction, though? Is it more of a distraction than video games that these seem to be playing in the early hours of the morning or whatever, you know?
I think so, because social media is similar to a computer game where it's sort of gamified. So you put a post out and you get a high score about the amount of likes from it, and you get your sort of self-esteem from that. It's always reminded me a little. It's like you're not living for yourself anymore. You're living for other people. And if you're a young footballer, like you're putting out your best skills and stuff like that. And I wonder how much that affects players in training and things when they're being filmed and stuff. It's an age when there are more eyeballs on you, and that either makes you sort of like go into your shell or play more for the crowd. And I think I'm very pleased that I didn't grow up with TikTok and stuff.
Do you agree, Dora, with like social media and the issues? Just quickly, because I saw a list of the 7 deadly sins the other day, and by each one they put like Tinder, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, with all the sins. They found one for each. What's your thoughts? Is it a bad thing for players these days? Is it a big distraction?
I mean, people need to adapt. Like, social media has been in our lives for more than 20 years right now. I mean, in our everyday life, I would say, for example, in my life, it has been in the last 15 to 20 years. Like, it's been a lot. I think that we, as a society, are adapting, and I think the athletes and the fame of celebrities, quote unquote, and those famous people who are constantly, part of that discussion online by some people who are always online. They need to adapt. I mean, it is what it is, right? And I think it's a great distraction, because I heard a part of it. Sorry, I had to quickly run somewhere, but I heard part of it where Bytime said that, of course, it's like video games, and you kind of lost. I mean, some people are living on the internet nonstop. Thankfully, I didn't go to that, but you see, for example, Alejandro Garnacho and his comments sometimes, on Twitter. Like, they're funny, but you could see that these, players are constantly, for example, after the game, what do they do when they come to the locker room? They take their phone and look for the reactions from the fans and footballing people, or whoever. Like, it is a huge part of the life, but I think as every balanced athlete, and if they want to be successful, they need to balance that, and do their best to make it all work. I mean, look at Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. Like, I haven't seen Messi, constantly. But the Cristiano Ronaldo is living for, PR and all that. I think, I mean, it's a huge, goal. It's a huge thing with them, because they are one of the best players of all time. But like, these young players need to adapt, and I think they will, face criticism. They will face a lot of atrocities on the internet, but they also need to understand and be, developed enough, and have people around them to tell them, what, it's social media. Of course, it's distracting, but I think you need to work for yourself, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if we are online all the time. I think what people did 50 years ago, they're doing it right now. We are living our lives and we are trying to survive, and I think they will need to, do that as well. It's hard. It's really hard. I mean, people are having, ADHDs, they're hyperactive. I mean, I have problem with concentrations as well. Like, I want to play video games, but I need to work. I need to do this. I need to do that. And I can, I feel for those people as well. I feel for the players, but you need to do your best to balance it out.
To be professional, I think maybe they should ban them in and around training ground and at match days as well. But DK Wilson saying that Hojlund stayed away from social media. He said in a post.
For example, Amondi, like in schools, I just noticed that teachers are actually banning phones from their classes because they realized that the kids can't concentrate without their phones. And you know what? I'm all for that. I'm all for that because they are a distraction. I mean, I lived through university where, you would rather, go on Facebook, Twitter, or whatever, or Instagram, rather than, listen to the class or whatever. That is going to be important for your future. In the end, you need to pass it all, right? So, yeah, I would say you need to ban them. But, of course, we need to adapt as well.
If you stand still on football, we go backwards. Andrew Williams, irrelevant argument. Eric Ten Hag won't be there at the end of the season. Laughing at Bath Town is really funny. Going back, do you remember that? Hope Gore's got a high ceiling, says Rajat as well. That's another young player. We've got Amad Diallo. What do we do for him? That's a player that's not being used enough right now. Lucky Singh says he doesn't use the internet while he's not on the internet. Well done. Sorry, but if Garnacho progresses, he's going to Madrid. He's already stated he wants to follow Ronaldo. From Jeff putting a downer on it. Emma saying it. All depends how you use social media, though. I've learned how to sew clothes and install a sink or put up a wall because of the information I basically, you have unlimited access. Support systems around them are very important, like every other young kid. Yeah, it just needs to be supervised, doesn't it? Like all this stuff.
Yeah.
You need to supervise the use. But anyway, let's get off this and let's talk about players hitting form. This is another quote from the press conference. We're going to be snappy now and just move on with the show. So players need time, especially young players like Rasmus and Alexandro. They need time, but also they need a team so those effects were not there in the first half of the season. We have to make a lot of adjustments in our way of playing, so it's difficult to serve the offensive part of the team. Very key, that point. I'm going to come back to that. So you're saying we have to make a lot of adjustments in our way of playing, so it was difficult to serve the offensive part of the team. I think it's justified why we don't score enough goals. When it happens, it can go really quickly for players to progress. From the start, I was confident they have the potential to do what they're doing now. It is about keeping going and keeping moving to be hungry. So is that justification why focusing on other issues, why we couldn't score goals on the offensive side of the game? Because they're hitting form now.
For me, no. Like the key thing there is Ten Hag saying we have to make a lot of adjustments in our way of playing. Like
you about the first half of the season.
Yeah, like he's the FN coach. He's the one that went out.
Players were out half time.
Yeah, so that's when you make but this isn't about like we had to wait for players to get back. We have to make a lot of adjustments. So why is it taken so long for him to do it? It's not like, Garnacho is a surprise. It's not like him signing Rasmus. He was like, I can't believe it. Look at this guy that's just turned up. He's they went and signed him. And they've had to make a lot of adjustments. Why hasn't this happened sooner is my question. Like, is it the players? Is it him?
Well, it's happening now. As Ten Hag, he's responded to the journalist who's saying we're hitting form. I'll come on to the form a bit later, but we are scoring goals now. We are sort of winning games. Dora?
I mean, I agree with that time. Like, he could have done something more in this. We lost 14, 15 games this season. And it was, Christmas. And I'm like, you needed to, you needed to do those adjustments. And I don't know what happened. I think, we kind of saw that they finally started playing. He put Garnacho on the right. Martinez came into the team. He came back to the team. He adjusted the midfield. We saw that some of the players are playing a bit differently. For example, Bruno, who is much more safer with his, playing and all that. He could have done that 2-3 months ago. And I get it. We all, they all have to, do their best to make adjustments. But what were you doing? And I totally get the whole argument of, a lot of players were injured, but you also, look at it like, it's not that, the players that we had at in disposal, it's like they were vastly different from what we had in that starting 11 already. I think he could have done more. Like, we had uh, guys like, Johnny Evans, we had Maguire, who played really well during those times. He Some of the players played really poorly. He refused to drop them, like Anthony, like Onana, for example. So I think this is just, I mean, it's like a typical coach manager talk, on press conference. I don't think it's a necessarily a bailout, but I think it is what it is, right? It's a generic response, in my opinion. It's nothing, major, but I think he could have done it much earlier in the season.
I'm just looking at his face. He looks quite smug, as if to say, haha, look at us now, we're winning. Compared to weeks ago, he looked a bit like he wanted to bite someone's head off. Andrew Williams saying, I love how Darius just doesn't fall for any banana in the tailpipe, any BS that he's saying. And it's been 3 games, Amondi, saying but I just want to say, I'll come back to the form. I'll show you the form going later, Andrew, to say why I said that. And Derby had 3 good games in their horror season when they were relegated. Let's not get sucked into thinking all our problems are gone. Look at the manager's face. He's got that air of confidence about him. Our team operates well when things are going our way. We cannot cope with any sort of adversity. Adversity is always just one bad game away. The Harry Maguire, we will have to let you do the header. That's from Lucky Singh. DK's back. He said, my, everyone acts like the players are robots and Ten Hag is a poor programmer. These are people with habits. It's ridiculous to think people can change overnight. All right, let's talk about Villa. Let's get on to Villa, because he was asked about Villa. Ten Hag on Emery and Villa. He says, I think it's very good how he developed his team and how they want to play in and out of position. Their players know what they have to do and cooperate with each other. They are a real team with weapons, pow, 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 in their team, and we have to play to our maximum level. I've put up 3 of their weapons here. Name them and describe them and what sort of threat they've got, please, guys. Start with you, Dora. Name one, pick one, and talk about one of these.
I mean, to be quite honest with you, I maybe watched their 2-3 games this season. I watched the one against us. That wasn't their best game, in my opinion. They were quite open at the back, but when they have a full team, I think they play a really fast football. They have Ollie Watkins, who is a really good Premier League number 9, who is big, strong, quite fast, and he is bullying the opposing defenders with his physique. But also he has the likes of Leon Bailey. He has Ramsey. He has very, very speedy wingers who can take on almost every defender in the Premier League. But what I was impressed with is their midfield. I mean, we all know John McGinn, but Douglas Luiz kind of improved. I mean, he was good before, but I think he improved under Emery, because they have different system and everything. I don't know who is their third. I cannot remember. I know that Theo Donker played against us in that game. I think they made like substitute. And I forgot. Luca Digne under Emery kind of revived his career again. So yeah, it's interesting. Like, this team is very good. It's obvious that they started really hot at the start of the season. People were, having hot takes. They're going to win a league, but I wouldn't, go that, fast with them, because they're still. I think on paper we have a better team than them with the players, and I think we should, play better and win in the end, like we won on the Boxing Day against them. So I think they're a very good team. I think Minks is a huge miss. Pau Torres is on the bench. Konsa is going to be missing against us in a few days as well.
Okay.
And yeah, they have some important injuries as well. And it'll be interesting to see how they are going to set up against us, because on the Boxing Day, they kind of opened, like Emery didn't change that much in the back. He kind of opened up a lot and, let our players to, rug them ragged. In that second half, I would say. So it will be interesting to see how Emery is going to, adapt for this game in Birmingham.
But you would say they've got some nuclear weapons there with those three guys. They are dangerous, aren't they? Andrew Williams saying here, look, Watkins has got
Bailey is good. Yeah.
Yeah, Watkins got 11 goals and 10 assists this season. It's very impressive. He's also said Watkins has more assists than any other player in the Premier League. He's done really well. That's another player who's come up through the leagues, and you have to give them respect. Yeah, most definitely. But after, I'm not going to ask for your views on their weapons. I want you to focus on somebody who's very close to your heart.
Oh, my man.
Another player who's gone from, we talked about Watkins, who's come from lower leagues or lesser leagues to come on, become a giant of a player in the Premier League. Bath time on John McGinn. He's playing for Hibs there, not so long ago. And now he's a big-chested top midfielder, according to you, with a fat ass.
Yeah, I like John McGinn because he looks like me in terms of how he's built.
For anyone who doesn't know how Bath time looks, he looks like John McGinn. And there's that body shape.
Yeah, like in terms of, although his torso is a bit longer than mine in that photo, but that running style, focused on the ball, looking like a little goblin, is exactly how I run. I'm a huge fan of John McGinn. He's left-footed, low centre of gravity. He isn't the fastest. He's got a great range of passing. He's scoring a lot more goals from open play this season. I really, really like him, and I really wish that United had got him a couple of years ago when Solskjaer was linked. I think it will be a bit of a test for Casemiro and Mainu coming up against John McGinn, because he represents a different challenge than you normally get in the Premier League, where his physicality is different. It's mainly about his arse and his elbows. He's very good in tight spaces, and he wins a lot of free kicks. I'm a huge fan, but I think for Villa, the key man will be Lucas Digne, if he starts or not. He came off injured at half time against us, and we absolutely did them only after he came off, where he was playing at left back. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But everyone keep an eye out for John McGinn, because he'll play well. And we've also got a new poll up on Monday, which is, should Bart be made a mod? There have been 9 votes. 8 have said no. 1 has said yes. Guess who said yes?
Bart said yes.
Bart said yes.
Oh dear. Oh God. Poor Bart. We feel sorry for you. Anyway, Bath time. You described John McGinn really well. He's got your playing style, just like you. And
brilliant.
Movies coming out. Twins. For anyone who knows how Bath time looks, which one's Bath time? I put him on the left there, the bigger guy.
I'll be on the right.
Yeah.
I mean, you're comparing me to.
So you're Danny DeVito. You're Danny DeVito.
Exactly. Like I can't say that I'm the giant against a Premier League and international football player. But
separated at birth,
John
Bath time and McGinn.
We just got to turn them the other way around and show the arses. That's where the similarity is, not with the faces.
Okay. Let's move on. The form guide now. Here we go. With our smug-looking Ten Hag. I think he's confident he can win this game. So United, this is going back to Andrew. We're on our longest winning unbeaten run this season. So it just shows how poor we've been and inconsistent all season. So these last few games, whether it's 3 wins in a row, whatever it is, it's our longest unbeaten run. And we've scored 18 goals in our first 18 league games. We've now scored 13 in the last 5. That's an improvement, no? Talk about Villa here. Villa have won 15 straight home games in a row after beating City and Arsenal at Villa Park in December. So that's amazing, isn't it? That's a fortress. That's what we want to be. But unfortunately for them, they've lost the last 2 home games, 3-1 in the FA Cup to Chelsea this week, and 3-1 to Newcastle in the last league game as well at Villa Park. So any sort of advice or anything that surprised you about the form here? We move on then.
Nah. Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on. Let's
Actually,
talk
I
about.
do have a question.
Go on then.
Has that how many games has Anthony played in for that form guide?
I've got no idea. So maybe someone can do some research and get typing.
Like, when did Anthony come out of the team?
I've got no idea.
Good. Was it October or November?
I think it's more like it's probably November, isn't it? Because earlier on, Ten Hag was talking about, we're getting the best out of like Rasmus and Garnacho now. And that's because you're playing Garnacho in Anthony's position. And that should have happened far earlier in the season. And I don't think you can rely on Rashford turning it up in Belfast as an adjustment that you've made. But anyway, I don't think you can read too much into this because the FA Cup against Chelsea, I'm not sure who played. For Villa, I don't know if they were taking it that seriously. They're coming. It's Villa Park is a fun place to play football. It's I'm sure a lot of people know. It's got the largest cantilever stand in Europe. It's a good football crowd. People from Birmingham are fun and they'll make a lot of noise. And as Andrew and other people have pointed out earlier, we still have question marks over this team about coming back from adversity. We've seen it in terms of individual moments, such as like Kobe and McTominay and stuff, but we haven't really seen the team fight their way back into a match. And we've certainly seen other teams fight their way back against us. And we're going to have to fight. We're going to have to fight Villa. Like, it's going to be a physical game. They're going to have all their players in our half. There's not going to be a lot of space, and we're going to have to beat them up if we want to get anywhere.
Yeah, most certainly. We're going to go to Solo 11 now. Flinging it up. Guys, let's be quick on this one. We're going to run out of time. What do you think of this team? Is this the strongest team we could have picked? Seems similar to the last game, I imagine, but no Martinez, of course. Guys, let me know.
Yeah. I think this will be a starting 11. Maybe put Evans instead of Maguire there, but I think that Maguire, he's been on form. I think he had a fumble last game, but that wasn't on that side of the defense. He was on the other side. I don't know. Maybe that place in the team is the only question mark in the starting 11. Is it going to be Evans? Is Ten Hag going to favor that left-footed centre back, or is he going to stick with Maguire and Varane? I know that Lindelof kind of got subbed in the last game. I don't know. I doubt that he is going to start, but I agree. I think this will be starting 11 against Aston Villa.
Is that agreed? Is that the main dilemma in the starting 11 of the centre back situation? Everyone else is sort of secure.
No. I think that I know everyone loves Casemiro. I think he was really, really poor against West Ham when I watched it back again. But Tomney's come off the bench and has got a goal and assist in less than an hour. I think he's got to be in contention for the game. And I think that Varane has performed poorly as well. So I'd think about changing those two players. And I would love to change the goalkeeper as well, but it's never going to happen. We have a poll in chat about if people agree with the solo 11, but the one thing that I think we can all agree on is that front three has got to that's got to be the front three.
Okay, so the two dilemmas would be the midfield: McTominay for Casemiro as bath time, and Dora. You've sort of you're thinking that switching up the centre backs. Maybe Evans would come in. Lucky Singh saying Bello, Shaw, Harry Maguire, Varane. I wonder what you guys think about this. This is I really don't know.
Who's our best partnership, Amonde? Like, instead of thinking about defenders as single units, do you think Varane and Maguire is better than Evans and Varane and Evans and Maguire?
I've been impressed with Evans, and I just think with like someone like Watkins, we got worries, and I think someone we're gonna have to defend out wide. I can imagine he's so strong in those areas. Remember, we done a eye test about the Villa game last season, and he bullied. He came deep, got the ball with his back to goal, rolled and turned and just ran.
Lindelof.
Yeah, it was Lindelof, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't know who's best suited. I would say, me personally, I'm like, I would just go Maguire, Varane, because Maguire's more experienced, and I think you got to give him game time.
What, than Evans?
Yeah, I think. Well, he's experienced, but I think you have to give him game time. Evans shouldn't be ahead, I don't feel, of Maguire. Strictly, I forget the left-footed thing because he's got a better left foot. I just think Maguire should be playing. It just gives you more confidence, and he's used to Premier League, and he wins so many headers, even though Evans does. But I think he wins so many headers, and it's just so important in that respect. So I would play, me personally, it would be Maguire and Varane. But I know everyone's open for different opinions.
I'm Evans and Maguire.
You're Evans and Maguire. I think that will be interesting because in the last game on the Boxing Day, we played Evans and Varane, and they both played really well, especially Evans, who was, fighting with Ollie Watkins that whole game, and he was actually really good. Not really good, but he was okay in the wide areas when, Leon Bailey was non-existent. Their wingers were non-existent that game. I think they were quite poor, Aston Villa, in the attack overall. Ollie Watkins was anonymous with Varane and Evans on the pitch. So it will be interesting. I get where you both are coming from. I think when you look at Varane and Maguire, besides Martinez, that partnership seems like the best on paper because they had some good performances together. But on the other hand, you have Varane, Evans. They played against Aston Villa already. They played really well. And Maguire and Evans, I don't know about that. Did we see Evans and Maguire this season? Maybe one or two games, or am I?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I think like you was maybe one or two. Wasn't many.
Yeah, I can't remember their
Arsenal
partnership
in the last 15 minutes where we conceded against. I think against Burnley, Maguire and Evans might have played. Evans definitely had an assist in that game, but Maguire was player of the month.
Yeah.
And like I think it's sort of, I think Varane lost his place to Maguire, and then Maguire got injured, and Maguire's come back in. Erik ten Hag is a bit sceptical over Varane, and to be honest, I think overall now, entire season, Evans probably been has been our best centre back.
Yeah, good. I won't argue that. Most certainly. There was a period with it when Varane, there was no talk about it, but he wasn't playing. There was about 4 or 5 games when Varane didn't play, and then he got thrown in against maybe Copenhagen or one of these games in the Champions League. I think something's going on here, but I never got to the bottom of that. It's all, done away with now. No one talks about it anymore.
He was dropped for the City game, wasn't he? He was dropped for the City game.
Yeah.
I think he was. It was what, Maguire? Was it Johnny Evans and with someone else, or Maguire and Evans? I can't remember. Lindelof, yeah. He was dropped for that game. And, the news and the rumors were saying that, he had a falling out with Ten Hag. And that's where it kind of started around that time, I think.
Is there another poll going on right now?
There is another poll. I've misspelled.
I want the results. Let me know the results. So I have things about partnerships, no?
It's dead equal between Evans and Varane and no, it's not. It's 55%. No, hang on. It's 44. No, what have I done? Oh, I'm such an idiot. Right, Evans and Maguire,
I voted right now.
Okay.
Has 36%. Evans and Varane has 36%. Varane and Maguire has 27%.
Wow. So the Varane and Maguire that Solo's got and what I've got is the least wanted.
Yeah, and by our manager as well. I think Dora makes a good point. Does Ten Hag see Lindelof ahead of Varane?
Wow. Varane's been playing recently, though. We have to give him that. All right, guys, score predictions coming in. Before we do, I want something for you guys to consider here. Can we push for top 4? Look at the league, but it's serious now. We are in contention. We have something to look for. It's not like we're completely out of it. We beat Villa, who are above us. We go to 41 points, and we'll be 5 points off them, and they're still in the top 4 with Spurs sniffing around them as well. This is an important win, guys. Important win. Away from home. We've talked about they've lost their last 2 games at home. Okay? They've got injuries, 5 key injuries to their team. Maybe they're coming to the end of their sort of good run this season. Who knows? We need to win. Halftime talked about having the aggression and treating every game like a cup final, like the manager said in his press conference. We closed the gap. There's a lot to play for here. Based on everything there, I want score predictions. I'm going to go to the comments. Guys, think about it on the panel. I'll come into the comments first. George is saying 3-2 to Villa. Boo. 2-0 to Man United, says Lucky Singh. Very tough game to predict, says Andrew Williams. We give you a lot of factors there to sort of gauge. Be brave. Okay, but he says, we're confident. I still think Villa, they are tough. So he's saying Villa will beat us 3-2. Any other scorelines, guys? Get them in because I'm going straight to the panel and putting you in the hot seat, Dora. Let me know. Everything we talked about today, take that into consideration. I want a scoreline. Are we winning or not?
Well, I think we will win. I think it will be 2-1 for United. I think that Emery is similar to Ten Hag as he doesn't always like to change his formation. So if they score that first goal, Ollie Watkins or whoever, I think he's not going to adapt that much. I don't like. He's a really good manager. He obviously is, and I think he's tactically really sound. But at times he kind of, maybe that Luca Digne injury kind of made it worse for him that last game. Hence why they conceded 3. But I feel that with our scoring much better, with our finishing much better than throughout the whole, the rest of the season, I think we are going to manage to score 2 and win in the end. So 2-1 United. I will be positive for once.
That's big. DK Wilson's also saying 2-1 United. Rebel saying 3-0 to Villa. See you all in the summer. 3-1 to United, says Jeff. And 2-0. I think we've done that, have we? Yes, twice you put 2-0. I did read out first time, Lucky Singh. Losing Martinez will make top 4 extremely unlikely, says Ed Barrett. And George has got a good comment here. He said, why would we believe we will win when Ten Hag has never beaten a team away from home in the Premier League who's been in the top 9 at the start of play? Does that change your mind, Bath time?
Not really. I think that this is a draw, and I think that a draw would be a good result. We've got a run of winnable games coming up. The squad is confident, and I think that we could play ourselves into top 4 contention, but we've got to do it by winning home games and basically getting points against the bigger teams. Because how far are Villa ahead of us? They're 8 points ahead of us. Oh. That's doable. Villa don't have a great squad, couple of injuries, things like that. That's doable. So all I really want from this game is that we're still in contention on Monday for top 4. And I think if Villa get to 11 points, that's us out completely. So I'd expect a draw.
But considering Villa are the ones we got to close down for that top 4, and we're playing them, should we really go for this and be a bit more confident that we can do it? Look, remember you said the other day that you threw away a title run, for whatever reason, but you were probably ahead, weren't you, at the top of the league? But now we're closing. This Man United actually have got a target above them, and that's where you get the momentum. So were you top of the league when you threw it away, and other teams below you with more motivation?
We're 5 points clear. With 5 points clear. With 6 or 7 games to go, and we tried to win. We tried to win every game, and we should have taken away. We should have been happy with away points. So that plays quite a large part into what I think. Also, I think George made another point about our goal difference, which is that's a 20 goal swing on Villa. So I think that we should go there and just be compact and set up and just take the away point. That's how you get a good league position, is getting vital away points. You wouldn't complain about it if we go and get an away point at City, but City are completely beyond us. So why would it be any different against Villa? We just got to make sure that we stay in contention. And so when there are 3 or 4 games at the end of the season, then we can go for it. Then we can pounce. At the moment, we're the stalking horse. We just got to stay in contention. So I would think a 1-1 draw would be what I would predict.
Always bring us back down to earth. Bath time. I tried to push your buttons to get you to get excited and give us a win, but you're right. Really, I hardly ever give draws in here, but it would be a tough ask, especially what George said about our away record away from home. I forgot about that. But we are on the up. We are on the up. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win. Just being brave and put it out there. I want to say hi to Rich Sports, guys. Make sure you subscribe to Rich Sports channel. Do it right now if you can. Type it in Rich Sports and go and subscribe. Friend of ours, isn't that right, Dora? A friend of ours. Gangster talk again. Spurs have got Van der Beek, Van der Ven, and Madison back soon with songs, so they're going to be improving as well. So, guys, in the comments, is top 4? Look at that league table. Is top 4 possible? With what you see there, I know we've got Luton next after Villa. If we win at Villa, surely the excitement will be there, guys. Surely. Everyone say hi to Rich, by the way. Yeah, and here's the link to his channel in the comments as well. Go and big up Rich Sports, no doubt about it. Guys, that's enough from us on the show. We've had a 2-1 win, a 1-0 win, and a draw off on the panel, and you guys have been positive as well. There's only a couple guys like Rebel and someone else said we would lose. So come on, United. Come on, United. This game kicks off on Sunday. And if we do win, boy, Monday night's going to be exciting with the eye test, no doubt about it. And obviously, what would be even more exciting is the reaction show, when I hope Dora's going to come and join us.
We will see. We will see. We will see.
Guys, do you want to put a poll out? Should Dora come and join us on the reaction show?
We've already got a poll out.
What's the poll out now?
Do we get a top 4?
I thought you said you got your poll out. We wouldn't know, but we can't see you.
Just imagine it.
You kind of waving around right now.
Yeah. So, we've got for top 4, 55% of our chat think that it's possible. 45% think no, and 4 people didn't vote. Presumably Bart is one of them because he's crying about not being a mod. But I'm sorry, it's Vox Populi, Bart.
Oh dear. Vincent, how you doing? He's saying 4-0, and Rasmus said Ed as well. Newbies in there. Ed, thanks for joining us today. A lot of people in the house. Guys, it's been a lovely show. Really appreciate you tuning in and supporting the channel, as always. Thanks for pressing the like button. Thanks for all your great comments. We do try to read them all out. And thanks for doing your polls as well, which was entertaining today. The 55% shows you, doesn't it, that it's a tough ask towards the end of the season. But any last words, Dora and Bath Time, because we're going to lock it up now and go home.
Yeah, good night. And before we go, maybe Bedtime can make a poll about his poll game or something like that. So he can end the show with another poll. But yeah, please don't do it. I'm tired. That road rage and those insurance things in the morning killed me. I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight. So yeah, thank you for having me. I would love to come on a reaction, but I will let you know on time.
Thank you. And Bath Time.
Thank you for having me. A great job on Monday. I think that's your first match preview. Good slides. Really enjoyed all the comparisons to John McGinn. And are we doing a watch long on Sunday?
I'm not sure. We're going to find out. Just set your notification, guys. We will let you know. Yeah,
and Jeff is now our top guy on Twitter, misspelling Forest regularly. So if you want to interact with us or find out what's going on, subscribe to the Twitter account and enjoy the rest of your Thursday night.
All right, guys, on that note, we're going to sign out and we'll see you on Sunday. See you tomorrow, hopefully. Take care, guys. Good night.